Hi guys, and welcome back to another video on the Off-White Color channel. Last time I was speaking from the other queue, this time I'm not. No fluff, I really didn't like it, so I'm going to keep it as real and as honest with you as possible. I'm Thijs Kern, I'm a colorist, a senior colorist as of this year. And on this channel I'm going to give you all the tricks and insight a starting colorist would need. So today I'm going to teach you how I grade the footage from the Osmo Pocket 3, which is the camera I'm holding right now. I have a very specific workflow for it and I'm going to share that with you. So if you would like to know how a pro colorist grades their Osmo Pocket 3 footage, stick around and we'll dive into it. Okay, so we are now inside of DaVinci Resolve. I already prepared a clip, so I just recorded a clip of myself sitting here talking to you, and I put it on DaVinci Resolve timeline. So let's open that. Okay, so here we have it. We have a talking head of me talking to you directly into the camera. Now, one thing with the Osmo Pocket 3, you can of course shoot in Rec 709, you can shoot in HLG, and you can shoot in D-Log-M. The thing is, D-Log-M is not really a recognized log profile by DaVinci Resolve. So usually we would go to the color space transform in the OFX panel, and then we would type in color space. And you can select your log format, and then I could, for instance, transform it to Sony S-Log3 because I have a lot of looks that work in that format, and then I could just grade as I would usually do. But the thing is, if we go to color space, there is no such color space as D-Log-M. It does have DJI D-Gamut, but this is different because the Osmo Pocket shoots in kind of a light log format. So we can't really use that. So there are two options here. We can either shoot in HLG and then convert HLG to, let's say, S-Log3 because that's my preferred color grading format. That's totally possible because we can go to the color space, we can select HLG and Rec 2020. So that's totally fine. However, I did some testing and I did notice that the D-Log-M format has a little bit more latitude in the highlights. I think there's one stop more information there, which I prefer for a filmic workflow. So what I did was I actually created a conversion LUT that transforms D-Log-M to Sony S-Log3. And I did this by shooting a color checker on both cameras, and then I created a calculation matrix. So it's very accurate. So let's see what happens if we go to that LUT, off-white color, DJI Osmo Pocket 3 to S-Log3. Boom. So we just applied it and you can see it's very S-Log light, retains all the dynamic range. And now let's label this a DJI to Sony. So that's our first node. Now we are in the Sony color space, and now we can apply maybe a correction. And then we can apply our Sony look. So I will always do my corrections before the final look LUT. So let's say we have a Sony look here in place. I already chose this one. I like to color grade my own footage with my Content Creator LUT, which is the Off-White Color Content Creator LUT. This is one for Sony. Boom. So now we have colors how I like them, but maybe it's a little bit too dark, maybe it's a little bit too warm. So then I can do my corrections here. I can go to the HDR panel, go to color space and select the color space that we are in right now. And since we transformed it from DJI to Sony, we can now select Sony as a color space and as a gamma, S-Log3. And now we can do purely technical transformations. So let's increase it by half a stop. Yes, and maybe add some cool, that's too much. Have a look at my scopes here. Maybe add some green. Yeah, so this is my exposure correction. And now we're pretty much good to go. So with a few steps we added this high-end look to the Osmo Pocket 3 footage, and this really shows that the Osmo Pocket 3 does have the power to provide well, very high quality footage. You just gotta know how to transform it and how to work with it. So this DJI LUT that I created really helps with that, because I can just work like I'm used to with my Sony cameras. But for instance, if I need to go to an ARRI Alexa log profile, I can of course add another node in here, or let's delete those. I can now use a color space transform to go from Sony to ARRI. So basically by adding this first transform, we now have all the possibilities in the world for all our existing LUTs, because sometimes you have a LUT that only works with ARRI Alexa. So now we can use the Osmo Pocket for that as well. Yeah, so that's kind of my solution as to how to grade the footage. If you'd like to know more about some grading things, if there are very specific questions you have on DaVinci Resolve, make sure to drop them in the comments below. I am a certified DaVinci Resolve trainer, so I'm very happy to help you out, and I always like to share knowledge. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more from a real life colorist. It sounds very weird, but that's actually what it is. I've been color grading for 5 years now on a professional level. So yeah, I think I can really share some valuable information. And yeah, I also just launched my LUT store, which is all about foolproof LUTs that actually work, because I get super frustrated all the time by all these YouTubers creating a bunch of LUTs and they are all just, I don't want to throw shade, but like from a technical standpoint, they're not really good. So you can check out those LUTs. They're on offwhitecolor.com, and we now have some actions running. And of course, you can always get 25% discount with the code from YouTube. You can check that in the description below. But I'll see you soon. Bye bye.